Welcome to my series From Fresh to BiS. Here you're gonna see me turn this level 1 Paladin into a fully best in SWAT character. And if you're new here, I've made a playlist so you can watch the series from the start.
At the end of episode 3 we got Freshtobis to this point. We got to around 5.7k gear score and we even got Kingslayer. But the problem? We had one of our trinkets still in blue quality. So in this episode we're gonna try really hard to fix this. But just a quick 10 seconds before we start, I wanna say thank you to everybody who supported me and bought me a coffee. Your support means everything for me, guys. If anybody else wants to help me out, you can find the link in the description. Thank you again. So the only choice that Freshtobis had at this point was to try and get a trinket either from Woodwar or from TOC, because you see Freshtobis has already done every single possible raid that he can do for the week. And I started searching for people for trial of the Grand Crusade, that means TOC 10 heroic, and I've reserved the Victor Skull trinket for me. And also, of course, I've reserved the BOE items, and TOC 10 heroic, it's only patterns and Crusader orbs that can drop. There's no actual heroic BOE items, but still, why not take some extra gold? And not long after I started searching for people, they started whispering me, and I've got the group set up really quickly. So the only thing left to happen is that we kill the bosses without any big problems, and Victor Skull drops for me. The trinket drops from the faction champions, and I didn't have very high hopes of it dropping because I'm not that lucky with the items. And yes, after we've killed the champions, the trinket didn't drop, but despite of that, we've completed the entire raid. It was a pretty smooth run, people knew what they were doing. We even got a shot at the mount, but we didn't win the row, so I didn't get any items from this run, but I got some Crusader orbs and a pattern. Then after this TOC ended, I've asked myself, what else can I do when I'm saved on everything? And I wanted to address something that I can have as a problem in the future. And as you can remember in episode 3, I've stated the Shadowmourne is gonna be the most time consuming. So I need to start working on this. When I farmed a little bit with Freshtobis, I've noticed one thing. That in less than a week, we have the Darkmoon fair coming. And what is the best thing that you can do when you have a Darkmoon fair? That's correct, you can sell Darkmoon decks to make some really nice profit. So without wasting any more time, I've decided to remove skinning as a profession and train herbalism. First of all, I can farm a lot better with mining and herbalism now, because I have the gear, I can fight if somebody attacks me. And second, I'm gonna need herbalism if I wanna create Darkmoon decks. Also, a pro tip to people watching, if you wanna level up herbalism, start with Dunmorrow, the dwarf and the gnome starting zone, because there is no people farming here and there is tons and tons of herbs. Then start to move up towards Western Plaguelands, and by the time you get there, you're gonna have already around 300 skill. And just as I've told you, I've hit 300 skill in Western Plaguelands. After that, I've went to Dalaran to do a quick cleaning of my bag, because I have tons and tons of herbs, I don't have any space. And while I was there, I went and done a quick ICC 10 rep run, because I never forget about the souls that I need to farm. Then off we went to Outland, and here things are a lot easier, because first you can fly. Also, it requires you only 75 skill to get to Northrend Herbalism. Also, if you ever plan to do this like me, do not sell any single herb that you farm. You can see I have absolutely everything in my bags currently. Yes, I'm struggling with the bag space, but I'm gonna need those herbs to level up inscription later. And now many people will ask, wait, Niva, how are you gonna level up inscription if you already have mining and herbalism? And now I'm gonna answer this question. This is the moment where Freshtobis first out character is being created. No matter what you do, at one point you're gonna need to create a second character if you wanna progress quickly. In my case, I'm not gonna play this DK, I'm just gonna use it as a storage facility and to have more than 2 main professions. And if you wonder why I've created a DK, because at the time I've exited the DK starting zone, I'm already over level 62, and with just 1 hour and a half to 2 hours of gameplay, I can go and train some master professions. In my personal case, it's even better because I plan to craft Outland decks, because I think that they sell easier than Northland decks. Yes, Northland decks give you trinkets, but the Outland decks are around 5 to 6 times cheaper than some Northland decks, and they give the same amount of reputation. So as soon as we finished our leveling journey with our DK and now we're out of the starting zone, I went to Freshtobis again to send everything I have to Deckmaster. And now was the perfect moment to clear my bank and sell everything on the auction house, then to send every single gold that I earn from it to Deckmaster, because he's gonna need some serious gold to operate. And then Deckmaster finally is gonna start completing his sole purpose, to make gold. I've started leveling up Inscription, and as I told you, don't throw any of the materials that you earn by leveling up Herbalism, because now with them I'm leveling up Inscription. And I don't want to take you through the entire process. I'm sure that 90% of people had level Inscription or a similar profession, so you know how things work here. Inscription is one of the easiest professions to level up and one of the cheapest. And by the way, I already have a video uploaded in my channel about crafting TBC Darkmoon decks. You can go and take a look at it to see what you need exactly. I'm not gonna explain it here. And now back to Deckmaster. I'm gonna need some more bags, because I'm gonna need a lot of space if I wanna craft a lot of decks. Also, as you can see in the footage now, I've started buying out ridiculous amounts of Dreaming Glory, because this is one of the cheapest herbs that I can find here. Then, after buying 1 gazillion stacks of Dreaming Glory, I went to upgrade my personal bank storage to have a little bit more space. On the next day, the first thing that I've done is to log Freshtobis to collect whatever I've sold on the auction house, and I got to almost 9,000 gold. So all of the gold went to Deckmaster once again. Then after all of this, Deckmaster wanted to visit the auction house to check if there is any primal life, and for his surprise, there was some guy that posted 31 stacks of primal life, 300 gold a stack. This is perfect. And at the end, when everything was said and done, we've spent around 11,000 gold already on Dreaming Glory and Primal Life. But Primal Life is the hardest thing that you can find, so it's totally worth it. You're gonna see later. And now the other job that we have to do is get enough Dark Flame ink. You get Dark Flame ink from Ebon pigments, and you get Ebon pigment from milling Outland herbs. And do you see now why I bought so much Dreaming Glory? The sad part is that at the end we barely got to around 4 stacks of Ebon pigment, and if you have more than 30 stacks of Primal Life, you're gonna need more than 30 stacks of Dark Flame ink, because as you can see on the screen, you need 3 Primal Life and 3 Dark Flame ink for every card that you craft. So I've decided to invest around 2000 more gold in Dark Flame ink, and at the end of this entire process we got around 21 stacks of Dark Flame ink. But we're gonna need more than 10 stacks more of Dark Flame ink in order to craft more than 200 cards. So we've made a quick visit to Outland to train our Inscription to over 325 skill, so we can craft the cards themselves, and also we can craft Dark Flame ink. After that, because we've spent all of our gold and we're gonna need more than 10 more stacks of Dark Flame ink, I've decided to max out my Herbalism on Freshtobis, and I've started farming. And you can see, as I've maxed out my herbalism, I think that we've got quite a bunch of materials that we can sell in order to buy the last 10 or 11 stacks of Dark Flame Ink to craft more than 200 cards. But just to be safe, I farmed a little bit more, and then I've sent everything to Deckmaster plus 1000 gold that I have from other auctions that didn't sell earlier, but now they've sold. Then, after selling almost everything, getting enough gold, and Deckmaster buying the remaining Dark Flame Ink that I need, came the most important moment: the crafting of more than 200 Darkmoon cards. As you see, I had a really big backspace problem, so I went to my bank and instantly I've started sorting the cards in the bank after I've crafted some amount of cards, and then just took some more Primal Life and Dark Flame Ink from the bank into my bag so I can continue crafting without cancelling the entire process. And as you can see on the screen, this is the final result of us crafting more than 200 Darkmoon cards. Yes, we were missing some small cards to craft some of the decks, so I went to the auction house and spent some more gold to buy the missing cards. Lucky for me, I found all of the cards that I needed. And now, the most satisfying part, the crafting of the decks themselves. At the end, we got a total of 35 Darkmoon decks. We've spent around 16,000 gold or a little bit more to get the materials, and we've invested around 6 hours of total gameplay. But the potential and profit of all of this is more than 30,000 gold, potentially. And now, as we're completed with the Darkmoon deck stuff, we've put up everything for sale, we get back into the grind. Because even if we sell everything and we have enough gold to buy the infusions for Shadowmourne, we haven't still done the souls part, the first quest of the quest chain. So, what else can we do other than just to farm more souls? And with the couple of runs that I did with this group, we got to more than 730 souls already, which is more than 73% done with the quest. But as usual, the group fell apart because most of the people come here just to get their Ashen Verdict ring, and after that they leave. Not everybody stays here until they reach Exalted. And after the run ended, there was not any more people who were looking for rep farm, and I don't really want to host rep farm myself, so I've decided to do a quick VOA 10 and 25 player because the weekly rates have already resetted, and it was a nice free moment. And of course, nothing dropped for me either from the 25 VOA or from the 10 player VOA. Shortly after that, I found another group for ICC rep farm. I went back inside of ICC, and as you can see, we've got to more than 840 souls done already. We're getting closer and closer. And after the ICC rep run ended, I've gone and done the weekly raid quest, which was in Obsidian Sanctum this time. We killed the boss easily, so this checkmarks one more weekly thing that we need to do. And do you remember the issue that I was speaking about earlier in this episode and at the end of episode 3 about the blue quality trinket that we have? Now here comes our second attempt in this episode to fix that. And now after the weekly raids are reset, as I've told you earlier, I have a little bit more options to get some trinkets. So I've decided, why not do a TLC 25 fast Emblem of Triumph run, and I reserve the BOEs, the patterns, and the most important, Death's Verdict. This is gonna be an extremely huge upgrade for us if it drops. At start, things were going really slow. Not many people were whispering me, like I got around 10 people for around 15 minutes of spamming. But a little bit after that, things started to get good. Person after person, I've started to fill the group. I've got some pretty nice boosters in the group, people that are really close, or even people that are BiS, best in SWAT. I was a little bit frightened because right after we started the event for the first boss, our holy paladin went offline, but we were left with 4 healers, which is pretty much enough for TLC 25. Also, they were nicely geared, so I really hope that other people don't feel insecure and start leaving the group. And with Icehow dead, we have only one dead person, and it was a mage. And guess why he died? He died because he was best in slot, the top DPS in the group, and he took aggro. But he was a really nice guy, he didn't complain about dying, and the group was fine. It's normal sometimes for this stuff to happen. Usually with pug raids, it tends to happen more often. It even happens to us with our guilds sometime. Then Ward Jaraxxus was a pretty easy boss for us, and the first BOE dropped from Ward Jaraxxus. This ring of the Darkmender can cost more than 2000 gold, so even if we don't get Death's Verdict and we get some BOEs instead of that, we're gonna make some pretty nice gold here, guys, trust me. Then after that, the faction champions are one of the most tense fights for me in TOC 25 because people wipe here not understanding that this is a PvP fight, not a PvE fight. AoE damage doesn't work here, also you need to CC them constantly if you wanna kill them. But at the end, we got this, a second BOE, and I want you to know, these bags can easily sell for more than 5000 gold. And now came the most important moment for me, the twin Valkyrs. I really wanted the trinket to drop, but with my luck so far, guys, I didn't have high hopes. The boss fight went on, and I was so excited because I know that it's like 1% chance for me to get it with my current luck that I have. But at the end, after the boss died, while I was giving the items to myself in order to roll them, I looked at the chat and I saw this. After me realizing what maybe happened, I opened the other boss and I was completely shocked. Not one, but 2 Death's Verdict dropped. I have never seen this ever happened. And Death's Verdict is reserved for me. This is insane. I can't explain you the feeling that I got in this current moment. After this, the raid was already over for me. I didn't care about the noob. I didn't care if we were gonna kill it. I didn't care if I'm gonna get BOEs or patterns or stuff like this. This is the first time ever that I win Death's Verdict while being reserved for me. It's insane. Also, I don't know if this is something like a streamer look or I don't know what, but I'm extremely happy because the episodes are getting more and more interesting, guys, and at the end I'm doing all of this for you. So this is what matters the most for me. I have 10 BiS characters. I don't care that much about the items themselves, but the whole feeling that I get is from the recording that I'm doing for you. Even while I'm editing this, I have a super wide smile on my face while rewatching the moment. So after all of this, we got more than 8000 gold and BOEs, patterns and orbs, and we got Death's Verdict. This is one of the nicest TLC 25s that I've ever had. After that, I've logged Deckmaster and I started collecting my mailbox. Here I have things that I've already farmed, including the BOEs from TLC 25. Then I saw that we have 120 people voting that they want to see episode for this week. And this is only 3 hours after I posted the poll. So this means only one thing. Because I'm doing this for you guys, you're gonna receive this. So after I took all of the mail, I went to the auction house and posted everything for sale. At the end, I even reposted the Darkmoon decks because somebody has undercut me. Actionator has a really good function for this. Thank you for the developer of this add-on, it saves so much time. And with all of this, we're ending episode 4 right here. Because guys, if you wanna see 2 episodes per week, I need to edit them a little bit faster. and they need to be a little bit shorter like this one. I'm really happy that I have you here, guys. As you can see, we've reached over 5.8k gear score already. We have Death's Verdict, and I even bought a Lightsworn helm. I forgot to film it, I'm really sorry, but I used 95 Frost Emblems to buy it. So, thanks for watching, drop a like, drop a comment, and of course, see you in the next one.